So what we are going to do today is we are going to learn about the setup process and then try to see whether we have been able to set up everything or not. So I'm going to first show you launching of the APM server. So if APM is installed on your system, this should be a desktop icon which you will have. Double click on this icon and it should launch the APM server. The first step is we take care of the APM server. So the host for our APM server is basically the same system where we have installed APM. Okay, that's the local host. So fill in the host IP or just simply say localhost. Or if you are wanting to run it on a different machine, then fill in the IP for that machine. And you say start the server. So you should see this window for the APM server. Try at your end. Let me know if this works. That's the first step, that we have launched the APM server. So do that, please. So let me know once your APM server is up and running, and then we will learn and see how we basically set up the Eclipse project and what all files or jars we are going to get in there. Server is running great. Nadia, is it running for you also? Okay. The second thing which you guys have to do is you all have downloaded the Java client which we were looking at yesterday. Okay. Now you have to go to this page. This is the page to download the Selenium jars which we will require. In here, scroll down, come to Selenium client and WebDriver language bindings and download this Java file. Okay. Download this Java 3.141.59 version. Click on the download in here. Please do that. Yeah, what you will download is basically when you download them and you extract them, what you will get is a jar file like this. Do you see this jar file? And then when you download the Selenium Java client, bindings, you get this folder. Inside it, you have these jar files, two jar files outside and some jar files inside. So create a folder called as APM jars and store all these jar files from there. What you have to download is the jar. Use this link and download the jar file. I'm sharing the link again. Use this link and download the jar file. Click here and say jar. You have to download the jar file. And when you download the Selenium Java client bindings, what you will get is a what you will get basically is a for zip folder. Extract that, and inside it you find some two client libraries, and inside it you will find one lips folder that will contain other set of jars. So do that. So for APM, go to this page. I'm not able to type in the correct. Go click on here in the download section. In here, select language binding for jar, and you will go to that page. Yes, I said to create one folder, call it APM jars, and store all the jar files that you have downloaded there. So do that once you guys are done creating the folder with Selenium jars and Java client, let me know. No, I want this is how your folder should look like, Hinaman. Look at this. This is how your folder should look like. Java client jar, all the Selenium jars, and one Selenium server standalone jar. This I will tell you from where to download. But first get all these jar files. So when you basically, this is the Java client jar simple. When you download the Selenium jar, you get a folder like this. So the two jars from here and all the jars from the left folder. Extract all of them and put them into something called as the APM project jars. All the jars into one folder is what I am trying to tell you. Is that clear now? Yeah, do that please. Do you have the Java client jar element? Let me make you the presenter and just start sharing your screen. So we will be able to see your screen. Just allow your screen to be shared. You might have some other jar files or maybe a few less jar files. That's okay because we are on different Selenium versions. But anyway, start sharing your screen. I'll tell you what to do. So allow your screen to be shared. Yeah, now we can see your screen. Okay, can you just open one window and close the another and expand it so that I can see? Just show me the folder. Maximize it. Okay, it's unreadable for me. Forget. See, I'll tell you what you have to do. Just try to understand. It's not so complicated. Yeah, even I cannot see anything. Okay, you have downloaded the Java client library file. See, this is what I have, the Java client library file. Okay, fine. Now the next thing which I have is the Java client file itself, the one which I downloaded. This one. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to extract its content to this folder. Okay, and I'm going to create a new folder called as APM jars. In here, I'm going to get my Java client folder and I'm going to go to this folder, copy these two files. I hope you are seeing my screen, Ehanim. And I'm going to go to this folder again, go to the lips folder, get all the files from here and copy it in here also. This is what I'm asking you to do. Is this clear now? If you have done this, tell me. If you have not done this, then do it and then tell me you are done with it. Go ahead and finish it off and then let me know. Done creating it? Okay, great. So let us see what we have to do next. Now the next thing we guys have to do is go ahead and say file new and create a Java project. Okay, call this project say APM project. Use the project specific JRE and click on next and click on finish to create the project folder. Okay, if you have done that, let me know. So open your Eclipse on the same workspace, create a new APM project folder, which is a Java project. Okay. So once you have created this folder, right click on it and say properties. Inside the properties, go to Java build path, select the path and say click on add external jars. Once you are here, go to your folder and add all these jar files here. Okay, this is what you guys have to do. Add all the jar files here. Once you have done that, let me know. You have to add the jar files. Right click on the project, go to properties, go to Java build path, go to libraries, select the class path, click on add external jars and add all these jar files. Right click, properties, select Java build path, click on libraries, select the class path, click on add external jars and add all the jar files. Clear? Are you guys done adding the jar files in the project? It is not about Mac, Enomin. Are you on Eclipse environment? Are you on Eclipse IDE? Forget if you are not seeing ClassPath. Right click, go to Properties, Java Build Path, Libraries. Click here. What do you see here? It's okay if you are not seeing module path or class path. Libraries, are you here? Now click on Add External Jars. This button must be highlighted for you. Add External Jars. Then click on Add External Jars and add all these jars. Select all these jars and then say Open and Apply and Close. You have done that? That's all you have to do. You have to add the jar files. Great. Then this work is done. So what we are done doing is we are done setting our APM project, which will act as an APM client. So the scripts which we create inside this project will act as the client which will send the commands to the server. Now let us do our work to set up the device information. Okay. To set up the device information, we should have Android SDK set up on our system. So we will take our focus to that. But before we do that, do you guys want to take a break or do you guys want to move in continuation? Okay. So for continuation purpose, I hope you have installed the Android Studio from here. You have done this part. You both have the Android Studio available on your system. Okay. Now the next part is we have to set up the system variables. So these are the two links. The one who was on Windows will use the link 1. The second one who is on Windows for Mac will use the link 2. So open these two links on your system and you have to set the environment variables. Okay. So set your environment variables. Open the link depending upon your system, whether it is Android or it is Mac. Open the respective link and perform the steps available on in here to set up the Android environment path. Please do that. And if you have any query while doing it, let me know. But it is pretty much detailed and clear here. Done setting the variables on your system? Okay, great. So let us go to the next step. If we are done setting up the systems on our uh, setting up the systems variable, then open your command prompt and type adb there. You should be able to see some information being prompted on your command prompt. So it is Android device bridge. You should be able to see some information getting printed. If your SDK path, Java path, and Android folder path are all set as you guys have told me, open your command prompt or your bash profile and type adv there. Do you see this? You see this, Nadia? Great. Now, do you guys have real device available on right now? Do you guys have an actual device available right now? Yeah, Android. Open your bash profile. When you type adb, what happens, Enomin? No, you're not being a pain. Don't think about it. It's just that you are on a different platform. That's okay. Command not found. That basically means your paths are not set up correctly. Okay, so we have to ensure that our paths are set up correctly. So basically the Mac platform generally troubles a bit, but nevertheless, if we set it up properly, we are able to ensure that this is taken care of. So you have done all this, export Android home path, this path, and then have you run this command? What happens when you say echo dollar Android home? If you type this command, what happens? What happens when you type this command? So if you are typing Android home, it is typing the path to Android SDK. Okay. What happens if you type this command? And then when you type this command, it says command not found. Now when you type adb, it says a command not found. What is your path to? What is your path to in here? Did you type this? Your path to Android SDK? When you say Eco Android Home, does it get printed as it is? How did you set up your Android SDK path? Where is your Android SDK available? I hope you have done this. Where is your Android SDK available? You have created a variable Android Home and you have set up the path, actual path on your system where Android SDK is available. Did you do that? On your system, where is Android SDK available? Tell me the path for that. Now tell me the complete path. Like this, you must be having a complete path which goes to the final folder of SDK. For example, in my system, my path is available in here. See users, right? App data, local Android SDK. For example, my path is here for Android SDK. Similarly, in your system, where is your Android SDK available? Print in the path where your Android SDK is available in a minute. Go to the path where your Android SDK is available and show and try to do that. No, it is not that how it does in Mac. It is a simple question. You have installed a software, Android, on your system, right? Android Studio. Once you have installed Android Studio on your system, you should have Android SDK on your system. See if this link helps. You have to find the path of Android SDK on your system, on your Mac. If this doesn't help, do what I'm doing, Google it. Check this path. You need to have this path before you're trying to set the variable. Are you done finding the path? Check this link. See, first we have to get the right path to our Android SDK. Once we have the right path to our Android SDK, then you have to use this link to set up the Android SDK path or the home variables or the system environment variables which we are trying to set. So first we have to find out the right path to our Android SDK. Once we have found the right path to our Android SDK, we have to set it up in the environment variable. So I'll tell you the steps and then we will see how you struggle. So right now you can note it down in a notepad of yours. These links are anyways available. Copy paste them and store them on your system. On the Mac, find the path. Find the path to where Android SDK is available. This is before you set the system. So this is before you set the system variables. You have to find the path where Android SDK is available. These are the two steps. And then on the command prompt, if you type ADB, this is for checking. And the next step is connect your Android phone to your system. So I'm just listing down the steps as it is. Connect your Android phone to your system. And I will tell you what all to do in here before we are able to perform the action. I'll tell you that, but I'll just show you what will happen. This part we will do it together. When you connect your phone to your system, if you say ADB devices, you should be able to see the list of devices available. So your phone should be displayed with the device ID. So whatever ADB or Android devices gets connected, it will be given a unique ID. This ID is what we require when we want to run the APK through automation on our mobile phone. But to this part we will come later. I'm just showing it to you guys. So right now we are stuck with setting up, first finding out the Android SDK folder on our system and then setting up the environment variables. So Nadia, you are done, right? Okay. Now, after all of this, the third step is to enable developer option in your Android phone. So this is the link for it. Once you enable the developer options in your Android phone, then when you type ADB devices, you should get the information like I have shown you. Okay? You should get this information. So we have to do it till here only for today. Creating an emulator and everything else we will do some other time, or we will try to do it after break if you guys are still open to it and you're not getting overwhelmed. Okay, let us take setting up Android emulator in our another section. But will you guys try this out on your own? And you have seen what I have shown you. Man, you don't have to do everything right now. You can take your time and do it. And this is my Skype ID. I want you guys to connect with me on Skype as well. Just ping me or drop me a message on Skype or on WhatsApp that whether you were able to do all this or you are having issues. If in case you are having issues, we will use a software called as TeamViewer to connect to each other on a respective time, which we will decide on for a weekday. Okay. So I can solve your problem, but I would like you to try first, Inomin. So try out these steps. Uh, have you understood? Have you understood the concept at the conceptual level, the steps which we are discussing? Okay. So if you have understood at the conceptual level A, we have downloaded and set up our APM server. Then we created an APM project in Eclipse where we added the jars. We require those jars so that we can create objects of the respective classes which we will allow us to act as a client to connect to the APM server. So that part was done. Now part 2, we are trying to set up Android on our system so that we are able to work with an Android device. For that, we have downloaded and installed Android SDK. Once we have downloaded and installed Android SDK, we are trying to set up our system variables. Once our system variables are set, we can run the commands from anywhere. Okay. So once we are able to run the command from anywhere, we enable the developer options on our mobile phone, actual mobile phone, and then we write down the command adb devices which will show us this. So these are two separate parts which we will connect together in our next class. This is what we are trying to do. Clear to you guys, Nadia and Enomin? Great. So ensure all this is done on your systems. Fine. In the next session when we meet, we are going to talk about Android emulator, how do we set it up, and then we are going to talk about something called as a UI automator to fetch objects from the application. So we will do that all in the next class. Okay. So till now we are going to talk about just this. Clear to all of you? Okay. So thanks for your time. We will see you in the next class. The next class will happen in its scheduled time. So it will be your mornings and my evenings. Okay then. Thank you so much. Take care. Have a good week. And if in case you are stuck, you know where to connect with me, and then we will, through TeamViewer, get access to the system and we will be able to clear it up together. So don't worry if you are not able to do it on your own. Just drop me a message and we will connect. Okay, thanks.